I quit my job after putting everything into my work.
Congratulations on leaving the job!
Trouble Busters!
My name is Tom. I'm a terrific young man who puts all my efforts into my work, and that's because...
Hey, Tom, you've been working hard today.
Of course! I've become great at what I do thanks to you, Michael.
I guess you wouldn't have been where you are today without me, Tom.
Michael was the person who helped me get this job when I was struggling to look for a job. I'll forever feel grateful for what he's done for me. However, he threw it away again. I've been concerned about the fact that the company has been making decisions in a conservative manner, so I looked for ways that the company can innovate the way we do things. However, Michael doesn't seem to wish to listen to what I say.
None of the 10 points on innovations are things that I could approve. They're all rejected.
Okay, in that case, there's nothing much I could do for this company.
Oh my goodness!
The one final thing that I could do for this company is to leave this job to help you save labor. Thank you very much for everything. And so I quit. I quit my job. My 10 years of career with the company had ended after putting everything into my work.
Tom, I envy you for being such a cool guy.
Oh, Jeffrey.
The 10 points of innovation that you wrote for the company were simply amazing. They were all correct, and this is exactly why you deserve this outcome.
You're right.
What are you going to do now?
I'm not sure. All I know is that I probably won't get a decent job.
Why would you say that?
I mean, I can't even do anything without Michael. I don't know what to do.
Ah! You don't understand anything, do you?
Why are you laughing? How dare you laugh at me when I'm hurt?
No, I'm here to congratulate you.
Congratulate me?
Congratulations on leaving the job.
Huh?
I'm very happy for you.
What? What's going on? My colleague told me a shocking fact at that point. If this was true, I'm not letting him get away with this.
Trouble Busters! Hey, Tom! Open the door!
What, Michael? What's the matter? I thought I signed all the paperwork.
That's not what I'm here for. I need you to come back and work with us, okay?
Are you telling me that you're gonna rehire me?
That's right! I made sure I convinced everyone else when they were all against this idea. You better be grateful for this.
Grateful? I never asked you to do that.
Our company is in danger right now.
I can tell. Not very many people would be willing to work at a company where the management would benefit everything.
That's not it! General affairs and accounting are short-handed, and the sales department is not motivated. General affairs and accounting are blaming the sales, and the sales are blaming the general affairs and accounting, and every day is a war at our company!
There's nothing I can do, no matter what you explain to me. Can't you do something about it with those who are still around?
That's why I'm asking for your help.
You can't make any income without my help.
The fact that you're still wearing your sweatpants at this point of the day proves that you haven't had any luck finding a job.
That's not true. I have a flex day.
What? Flex day? There's no way someone like you would get into a nice company that offers a flex day. I know you're lying.
I'm not lying. I was about to start getting ready to go to work.
Just stop lying. Now get ready to come back and work with us. There's a lot to take care of. I need you to make sure we catch up with everything that we fell behind on because you've been away. What? How did you even get a job at one of the largest companies in this industry?
Well,
I can go ahead and explain it to you. Oh, you're the god of business, Mr. Steven from Full Max Top Company. Do I hear some fruit flies buzzing around here? Do you know what this could be?
Oh, let me tell you what's going on.
I see. That's terrible. Mr. Steven! Tom is currently employed by us, so would you stop bothering him? He's not officially employed, is he? Per our company policy, he's currently on a 3-month probation. But he's great at what he does, so he's definitely gonna make it past that probationary period.
Thank you, Mr. Steven.
It's always great to have such a strong member join our team. Our company is different from some other companies who tend to overvalue traditions and the looks. Thanks for letting go of Tom, who would become a great asset to any of the departments that I could potentially assign him to. Could it be because your company wanted to test and see how you would do even after losing such a strong team member? Are you posting clips of this challenge on social media or something? Mr. Steven, don't let him deceive you. You're a silly person. I'm not being deceived. This guy took me for granted after all the years that I trained him to be where he is today. And he made the most insincere decision of resigning from our company.
Hey, I just...
Don't worry, Tom. I'll handle him. Anyways, this seems like it's going to be a long conversation. Would you like to come inside our office? First of all, you said something about insincere earlier, but that's a word that a typical failing supervisor says to describe their subordinates. Are you sane?
What? What do you mean by that?
I mean exactly what I said. Do you realize that you've been looking for others to blame every time you speak?
Blame others? Are you saying that Tom quit his job because of our fault?
It was. And isn't that exactly why you're here to get him back?
That's not true! The problem is because of our current team members who won't get their jobs done!
In that case, you're not providing an environment that allows your team members to get their jobs done. And that's not their problem, is it? What do you say?
Well, it's because they don't understand how they should be working in our environment.
You understand that they don't understand how to work in that environment, which means that your company lacks effort in changing that environment, right?
But don't you think that the problem is caused by those who don't understand it?
Okay, go ahead and place the blame on others. And what exactly do you benefit from doing so?
Well,
you already know exactly what I'm talking about. Your company is currently failing, and you're not trying to improve your company, but you're trying to get back the employees who used to be a strong part of your team to fix the problem.
I'm trying my best.
It's a given that the upper management tries their best to do whatever it takes to bring the company to success, so stop telling me that so pridefully.
I tried suggesting that they update their operation manuals several times, but they never listened to me.
What are you talking about? You were the exact person who refused to have us update our operation manual.
I told you that there's no point in switching up small details in that manual.
You're just trying to slack off.
I gave 10 points on innovation that were posed as conditions for the manual revision to have happened.
This sounds quite bombastic. By the way, what were those points?
They weren't anything too complicated. For example, I suggested that we should have fewer people involved in decision-making processes to speed up the process itself.
That sounds quite ordinary. There's There's no point in having too many people involved in the decision-making process. And that's not true. You can't be saying these things without having any idea about our company.
But we've only been getting back feedback that said, I agree, I have the same concerns, and so on. Your upper management might as well just keep one person to copy and paste and respond on behalf of the rest of the management.
One of those moments where you end up wondering why you had to wait so long to get a response from everyone involved, right?
The people who are responsible in that decision-making process are all of those who have contributed greatly to our company in the past. It's important to get their opinions. And if they're also responsible in case anything happens, you guys always blame your subordinates by telling us that you trusted us with our decision and that was the cause of the problem.
That's such a lousy excuse that a high school kid can make at a part-time job.
The upper management don't get to see what's going on with the hands-on operations on a day-to-day basis.
Why can't you guys ask then? Why wouldn't you ask? Isn't that lack of care and effort on your end?
Well, we just assume that they all know what they're doing.
So you're ultimately leaving it up to those who take care of the tasks hands-on. Why would you need the decision makers to approve any of those processes then?
It's classified.
Oh, what a shame, and such a waste of my time!
Other than that, I suggested for clarity on the responsible parties and also to have fewer regular meetings. Also, each department should not be too focused on the immediate goals, but to cultivate the idea of working to benefit the entire team and all the departments, and ultimately for the company. For example, when we were making a short video to advertise our company on social media, we hired a pretty girl who knew how to talk in those videos and even knew how to edit the video, and the plan was going well.
Well, that's something that you definitely need as an advertisement method in this area. And then what happened?
The upper management had started criticizing the project.
She doesn't even know how to use the accounting software, and she doesn't even know how to make an invoice, but she keeps playing on the computer to have fun making videos. You're making her slack off. This is favoritism. If she has the time to be doing all of those things, I'd rather her learn how to handle some tasks.
Wouldn't you agree with me that in this scenario we should be respectful to the seniorities while making sure that we protect the girl who's handling social media for us?
That's right. Both are necessary.
We can't possibly spoil the younger kids like that.
But you're spoiling the seniority.
The seniority are those who built the company for us. We need to pay some respect.
But the newer team members are the ones who will build the company's future. Don't you have to respect them too?
The level of experience and accomplishment is different. Of course, they're seniorities.
What kind of coach would point at a senior running the tracks and tell the freshmen that those seniors have more experience and accomplishments for being on the tracks for longer than them? Those freshmen would probably question why the coach would even spend the time to say something that's so obvious.
So, what are you guys doing currently? We went back to the old method of posting and phone appointments. What? Did you really go back to the old method? The seniorities were against it. We had no choice. Conservative, so conservative. Oh my goodness. This is the exact problem I was talking about. You're not open to new ideas and you're afraid of changes. The company ends up with stagnation and stagnation becomes a retreat. I've been writing so many letters and emails to suggest that we'd change that company culture because I knew the company would be in danger. I wanted to protect the company and I wanted to protect you. You should have tried harder. What?
Oh, Lord. I wasn't convinced by you because you weren't trying hard enough. You can't blame me for not comprehending what you were trying to say when you didn't even try hard enough to make me understand.
Speaking from a third person's perspective, that's just simply that lack of your comprehension skills, Michael.
That's not possible! I was the one who saved Tom when he was struggling to find the job, and I trained him to make him become who he is today!
I won't negate everything that you're saying, but you also need to admit that Tom had strong potentials to begin with, too. At this point, it's clearly evident that Tom is a stronger asset to this society than you.
What? That's not possible! All the credit goes to me!
What's wrong with you?
Stop being rude!
Oh, I'm sorry about that. In that case, why don't you go ahead and train someone else the way you trained Tom?
Oh!
Michael, you're great at what you do, right? In that case, you should stop wasting time chasing after someone who left your company, but instead focus on strengthening your current employees.
I don't need you telling me what to do. Tom, I'm supposed to rehire you for a salary that would be slightly less than what you used to receive prior to your resignation, but I'm being kind. And I'll hire you for the same salary that you were receiving before you quit.
I'm sorry, but I'm rejecting the offer.
What? Are you trying to tell me that we should pay you more than what we used to pay? You need to stop acting so cocky just because you found another job.
There's nothing wrong with expecting a salary that matches your own skill level.
Can you just stay out of this conversation?
But Tom is my employee and I can't do that. Did you really think that I'd be staying quiet while you're trying to headhunt my assets so dynamically?
But we need Tom to come back or else our company would fail.
Michael, you're far more talented than Tom, and your company still has you. There shouldn't be any problem, right?
I wasn't sure if I should say this, but... What is it?
Michael, you're the sales department manager. Why do you never handle any of our clients?
I'm busy handling kiddos like you, and I don't have the time to be doing that.
But your company is in trouble, right? You said that the business is failing. In that case, shouldn't you prioritize the company's business over training the newer team members at this time? You can always train them after all is well, right? Numbers will make it clear that you're not great at what you do, the way you talk about yourself.
What? Huh?
Tom, don't you recall that Michael would always criticize and provide feedback only after you close the contracts with your clients? That's right. If he ever provides you feedback before seeing the results, he'd have to be responsible for the feedback he'd give you if the results turn out negatively. That's why he would never say anything while you're working on a client, and he'd only provide feedback after he sees the results. He'd criticize, telling you that he knew it prior to seeing the results, but he chose not to say it because he wanted you to go through the learning opportunity.
That's exactly what he always said, every time around. But it was the truth! What else was I supposed to say?
If you were choosing to remain silent about the opinions that could have benefited the company, that's simply treacherous behavior. Your company would have made higher sales if you chose to say something, right? But you chose not to, which means you chose to let the company take the loss.
Oh my goodness, you're right!
And that's exactly what someone says when they're not truly confident with what they do at their job. If someone can only analyze the job after seeing the results, there's almost no point in analyzing at all. A truly talented person is talented because they know what to do or say before seeing the results to generate even stronger results. However, this gentleman in front of us can't do that. Do you have an idea why? Is it because he's always busy? Oh? Even though he's so desperate to a point where he comes all the way to our office to try and get you to work with them again? This gentleman's job is to lay on the couch and stay lazy while he does whatever it takes to make sure the company stays conservative by exterminating any new ideas.
You're being extremely rude.
This gentleman can't do anything because if he was to handle any task that drives a numeric result, everyone around him will find out that he's not as great at what he does as the way he describes himself.
Stop this!
He's not invincible because he's strong. He's invincible because he never takes a battle.
Stop this! I don't want you revealing the secret of my defeatless career!
The most effective way to make your subordinate perform the way you wish them to is to show instead of telling. It's a method that's always been effective, whether it be today or in the past. But this gentleman chooses not to do that, and that's exactly what proves everything that I've said about him.
No, I'm not like that. I would be completely fine even if we didn't have Tom coming back to join our company.
In that case, go ahead and handle all problems on your own. Tom is already a valuable asset to our company. I can't possibly lose such a talented young man for a company that's about to fail.
Hey, are you sure about this, Tom? How dare you let this guy say all these horrible things to me without even arguing?
Your company was meant to fail. You favor and prioritize seniority and come up with rules that will only benefit the seniority and to protect those benefits that are only meant for the seniority.
No one wants to work at a company like that. It's just like walking into a cafe that's already fully seated with a group of friends.
Who is he? Do any of you know him?
Not me.
Who is that?
Who would ever want to go to a cafe like that?
That's right. Those who can't be open to changes and new ideas will drown in this society and ultimately won't survive.
I fully agree with you, Mr. Steven. Besides, he's been looking down on me so badly. Please, Tom, I need you to help us. I'm begging you. That took a while before he started finally begging. I realize now how much you are an asset to our company. You're the only person who can save our company. So please, I need you to help us out. I trained you to where you are today. Do you realize that? Do you even know how many times I treated you to dinner? You better pay back your gratitude. You're down on your knees, but you're only saying arrogant things. You're gonna help me! No way! You're a selfish person, and I'm not gonna be helping your company no matter what! Oh my goodness! Now, please leave. You're in the past, and you're a stranger to me at this point. Oh no! Please don't do this to me! Begging as he went down on the floor, but he was completely helpless at this point, especially for being so overly conservative towards new ideas and thoughts. He deserves what he deserves. This is it! All departments going into a war, and the upper management all stabbing each other's backs? Younger employees lack motivation, and the seniorities are selfish. There's not a single thing that's going well in this company. I hope we find someone who has the courage to do the right thing for the company without being caught with their own greed to save our company. We need someone like Tom. Oh, blue comes from indigo, but bluer than indigo.
The company that I resigned from had ultimately filed for bankruptcy. The seniorities had ultimately learned that there is no such thing as stability that lasts forever in such a competitive society. Michael's wife broke up with him, and she took his house as a marital property. Since he wasn't young anymore, he struggled to find a new job. I heard he works several part-time jobs just to support himself on a day-to-day basis.
I used to be so much more talented than Tom back then. What did I ever do to deserve this outcome?
As for me, I've been very successful at Mr. Stevens' company, especially with the company culture that recognizes strong performance. I've been promoted to the director of operations in just a matter of a year. Trouble Busters!